Atlantis was not just the name of one of the space shuttles, or the name of a hotel in Dubai. It is also the name of a supposed lost city, which now resides at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. And what experts do we have to tell us about this alleged lost city of Atlantis? Who could do this conspiracy justice? Spacebusters, of course. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a big shout out to the sponsors of today's video, Bookshelf. Bookshelf is like your actual bookshelf, but for digital content where you can save and organise any type of digital media. Your favourite articles, podcasts, YouTube videos, newsletters, etc. onto shelves. Any of your favourite content from any source, all in one place that you can share with your community. On Bookshelf, users create shelves to organise all their content. Shelves are like lists or collections. They're unique to each user and allow you to express your taste and expertise. These shelves can be organised by topic, mood, category or media type, and they're shareable to any platform like Twitter, email or even in a text to your friend. You can subscribe to shelves curated by experts and members of community across any category. Here are my shelves: space, physics and our world. Bookshelf is a growing community of engaged, loyal content consumers and information junkies, where you can feel more informed, always learn something new, and where you can expand your perspective. The quality and depth of the content is much better than other platforms because humans share better than algorithms do. Bookshelf really is simple and easy to use. Right, back to today's video where Spacebusters are going to tell us all about Atlantis. Can't wait for this one.
We've all heard of Alfred Wegener's 1912 theory of Pangea, or continental drift, which, though rejected by the scientific community until the 1950s, is now the basis of the theory of plate tectonics.
And now is absolute fact. The evidence is just overwhelming.
We've also all played square pegs as a child, where we found out the hard way, although a diamond is pretty close to a square, a diamond is not a square. The same problem arises when we look at Pangea. That is close, but that is not a perfect fit.
If you expect it to fit perfectly now, when it's split over 140 million years ago, then I'm afraid there's no helping you. Coasts are constantly changing due to erosion, deposition, as well as the raising and falling of the actual land itself geologically.
But when we start to look under the Atlantis, or Atlantic Ocean, at the shapes of the Challenger Ridge, Connecting Ridge, and Dolphin Ridge, a remarkable thing happens.
Remarkable, hey? Will it be remarkable or just a coincidence? So what's your point? That the Dolphin Ridge is the alleged city of Atlantis?
While historians and archaeologists carry on pretending that Atlantis was just a worldwide mythological place or legend, it doesn't take more than a quick comparison of Plato's Atlantis, brought down by Solon, and this sunken landmass in the Atlantic Ocean to question why they can't see the blaringly obvious.
It's not a sunken landmass though, it's just a ridge caused by the fact that two plates pull apart and new crust comes up beneath.
In Solon's account of the Atlantic island, it was first settled by a godlike man named Poseidon. We call him the god of the sea, but never question why he is always depicted holding a trident or a farming pitchfork, or why he's riding horses instead of dolphins. Solon claimed that a great nation power came forth out of the Atlantic Ocean, and that back in those days, the Atlantic was still navigable by ship, hinting that in his time it was not.
Sorry, are we basing this whole Atlantis thing off an old book? Really?
And that there was an island situated in front of the straits called the Pillars of Heracles, which we now call the Straits of Gibraltar. This island was larger than Libya and Asia put together.
Well, that's not right, is it? The surface area of Asia and Libya combined is over 45 million squared kilometres. The whole of the North Atlantic has a surface area of around 42 million square kilometres.
It was the way to other islands, and from the islands you might pass through the whole of the opposite continent which surrounded the true ocean, claiming the Mediterranean Sea within the Strait of Heracles is only a harbor, having a narrow entrance, but the other is a real sea, and the surrounding land may be most truly called a continent, showing Solon had knowledge of the Americas on the other side of the Atlantic already in 630 BC. Solon claimed the Atlantean Empire not only ruled its own island continent, but also as far as Libya, Europe, Egypt, and Tyrrhenia, which is central Italy.
These Atlanteans got around, didn't they?
Pretty specific geography for a myth. And on the side toward the sea, and in the center of the whole island, there was a plain which is said to have been the fairest of all plains, very fertile, just as we see sunken beneath the ocean today. Solon described the plain. It was rectangular, and for the most part straight and oblong.
Are we looking at the right thing here?
And what it wanted of the straight line followed the line of the circular ditch. The depth and width and length of this ditch were incredible, and gave the impression that such a work, in addition to so many other works, could hardly have been wrought by the hand of man.
And it wasn't. The active geological earth created it.
It received the streams which came down from the mountains from above, meaning from the north, and straight canals were cut into the plain, and by them they brought down the wood from the mountains to the city. The whole country was described as being very lofty and precipitous on the sides of the sea, but the country immediately about and surrounding the city was a level plain, itself surrounded by mountains which descended toward the sea.
This all sounds very momentous, doesn't it? I wonder what happened to this country.
Atlantis is smooth and even, but of an oblong shape, and the whole region of the island to the south is sheltered from the northern mountains. And in the center of the capital island, there was a race course of a stadium in width and length, allowed to extend all around the island for horses to race in.
Ooh, spooky.
But afterward, there occurred violent earthquakes and floods, and in a single day and night of rain, all your warlike men in a body sunk into the earth, and the island of Atlantis in a like manner disappeared and was sunk beneath the sea.
What? One day and one night of rain? That's it? Try living in England, buddy. With those statistics, we'd be deep in Plato's 9 circles of hell over here.
And that is the reason why the sea in those parts was so impassable and impenetrable in Solon's time, because there was such a quantity of shallow mud in the way, and this was caused by the subsidence of the island.
None of which has been documented, of course.
Back in 2011, researchers believe they found the lost city of Atlantis in the mud flats of Alicante, southern Spain.
Well, it's obviously not, is it? That's tiny. You said it was bigger than Asia and Libya combined.
Missed it by that much.
A dozen PhDs and $2 million in research grants between you, and not one of you morons bothered to read the source of the legend or read Donnelly's Atlantis? No, by all means, let us do it for you, for free.
Yeah, I don't think that reading a couple of books is the evidence you were hoping for, matey.
The truth is, by the 1880s, deep-sea sonar had already been taken of the Atlantis ocean floor by the U.S. Dolphin, German Gazelle, and British Hydra, Porcupine, and Challenger, resulting in the revelation of a great elevation, reaching from a point on the coast of the British Islands southwardly to the coast of South America at Cape Orange, and then east to Africa.
Yes, which is why it's called a ridge. It's high because the mantle beneath it is pushing against it, lifting the Earth's crust up.
Just as Solon said, due west of the Straits of Gibraltar or Heracles, we find the last remnants of Atlantis today, the Azores Islands, which are the very tops of the sunken northern Atlantis Mountains described by Solon on what is known now as Dolphin Ridge, aka Atlantis.
No, the Azores were formed by volcanic activity around 20 million years ago. I of course knew of the myth of Atlantis already, but the fact it's taken seriously off the back of some book in this day and age is baffling to me. Well, there we go, another Tinfoil Tuesday nicely wrapped up there. Perhaps the Spacebusters should stick to busting, unsuccessfully of course, space. I do hope you enjoyed that today. If you did, then please do like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Just enough time to once again thank Bookshelf for sponsoring today. Please do go and check it out. I'll leave the link for my shelf in the description. I have been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great week, and I'll see you on Friday for the Patreon poll vote winner. See you then.